At Monash Children's Hospital, we have children of all ages come here for lots of reasons. They may be sick or need a procedure to help make them better. You may even see little babies coming into the hospital for a procedure too. Whatever the reason, all the staff at Monash Children's Hospital are here to help you feel better and get you home as soon as possible. This video aims to help prepare you and your family for what to expect when you come to Monash Children's Hospital for a procedure. Before you come in, your mum, dad or your carer should have received some information about your visit, either by mail and/or a phone call. This will tell you what time to arrive, where to go and what you need to bring with you. You may want to bring a comfy pair of pyjamas to change into, and if you're staying overnight, make sure you have a bag packed with a change of clothes, toiletries, toothpaste and a toothbrush. You can also bring in books, games or a tablet device. We have some toys and games you can play with while you're here in the hospital and free Wi-Fi for the whole family. It's very important to have an empty tummy before your procedure. This means you need to stop eating and drinking for a while before you arrive at the hospital. This is called fasting. Mum, dad or your carer would have been given this information before you come into the hospital. Now we will follow Connor and his family and watch as he arrives and is admitted for his procedure. When you arrive at Monash Children's Hospital, you need to go to the admissions desk on level 3. Here you will meet an admissions clerk who will help your mum, dad or your carer to complete your paperwork and admit you to the hospital. Once you are admitted, you will be taken into the waiting room in our same-day unit called Lagoon. Here you can wait until the nurse calls your name when they're ready for you. From here, the nurse will take you to the scales and check how much you weigh. Next, they'll take you to either an interview room or your allocated bed. Once you're here, they'll ask you some questions to make sure that you were well enough for your procedure. They'll also put 2 ID bands on, which everyone will check all the time. If you have a special toy, they can also come with you into the operating room. They might even get their own ID band. The nurse will then check things like your heart rate, oxygen saturations, blood pressure and temperature.
Don't worry, none of these things hurt.
The nurse will also give you a comfortable gown to change into, or you might want to change into your own pyjamas.
They might also give you some medicine. It doesn't taste too bad.
If you're over the age of 7, the nurse may also put some numbing cream on the back of your hand. It looks a bit like toothpaste and they'll cover it with some sticky plastic. The next person to see you will be the anesthetist. That's a long word to say. They are sometimes known as a sleep doctor. The anesthetist is the person who will help you go to sleep so you don't feel a thing during your procedure. There are a couple different ways that the anesthetist can put you to sleep, but they'll discuss these when they see you. They'll also help you wake up when it's all finished. The person who will be doing the procedure is known as the surgeon, and they will most likely come and see you and answer any questions that you, your mum, dad or carer might have before your procedure. When it's nearly time for you to have your procedure, the staff will move you and your mum, dad or your carer into the holding bay. Here you'll meet another nurse who will make sure that everything is ready. You might have to wait a while before going into the operating room, but the holding bay is filled with lots of things to keep you entertained while you wait. The nurse or anesthetist may ask you to choose a smell to breathe in through the mask while you go off to sleep.
I hope they have strawberry.
When it's your turn, the anesthetist, a nurse and a volunteer will take you around to a special room. They'll give you some sleepy gas to breathe in through a mask. After you're asleep, the volunteer will take your mum, dad or your carer back to the waiting room where they can wait nearby until your procedure is over. You probably won't get to see the inside of the operating room as you'll already be asleep, but let's have a sneak peek just so you know what happens in there. Your anesthetist, a surgeon, and as well as the theatre nurses will stay by your side and look after you and keep you safe. The next thing you'll remember will be waking up in a different room. This is called the recovery room. This means that your procedure's all over. The nurse will make sure that your mum, dad or your carer can come see you as soon as possible. If you're feeling sick or sore, make sure you let your nurse know. They can give you some special medicine to help you feel better. There may be a bandage on your hand or arm. This is just where the anesthetist may have given you some medicine while you were asleep. Your nurse will take this off when you are nearly ready to go home. If you're going to stay in the hospital overnight, you'll be taken in your bed from the recovery room to one of the inpatient wards. Otherwise, after a little while, a nurse will take you back to the day ward where you can have something to eat or drink. Although you may have already had an icy pole in the recovery room, after a short time you'll be ready to go home. Your mum, dad or carer will be given a discharge passport and information on how to look after you when you get home. They will also get all the details for your follow-up. You may also receive a phone call the next day from the nurses just to make sure that everything is okay.
Make sure you take your ID, bands and mask home so you can show your friends.
If you have any questions, remember that you can find out more information on the hospital website www.monashchildrenshospital.org or call 13 Kids.